The new 4-cylinder Genesis G70 is better, but the V6 is still best. Even with 300 horsepower and Brembo brakes, the V6 G70 is still the one to get. Aging sucks. But even for a fledgling brand like Genesis, it's inevitable. The 7-year-old G70 is Genesis's oldest model, a trailblazing midsize sedan that's grown long in the tooth. But that's not to say this isn't still a good luxury car. A facelift in 2022 revitalized its looks, while updates for 2025 make the base model more appealing. A new turbocharged 2.5-liter engine replaces the old 2.0-liter mill, making 300 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. That extra 48 horsepower makes the G70 the most powerful entry-level option in its class and helps drop at 0 to 60 miles per hour time under 5 seconds. The base G70 starts at $42,795 with the destination included, or $44,895 with all-wheel drive. The bad news is this Turbo 4 doesn't develop a ton of torque off the line, nor is it that engaging. The turbo lags like an early 2000s smartphone, so you really have to bury your foot into the accelerator pedal, and keep it buried, to get the G70 up to speed. At least the new engine delivers more power through the mid and upper limits of the tachometer, even if it takes a minute to get there. If power is the priority, the V6 G70 is still the one to get. While it doesn't receive any powertrain upgrades for 2024, the twin-turbo engine has a healthy 365 horsepower and 376 pounds-to-foot, which launches the sedan to 60 miles per hour in well under 5 seconds. An 8-speed automatic is the sole transmission option for either engine. It's mostly anonymous but can be lethargic when driving quickly, refusing to upshift or downshift on time. Tick over to the most aggressive Sport Plus driving mode and flick the paddles yourself for best results. To its credit, the base G70 doesn't shy away from corners. The electric power steering has moderate heft and a good road feel. The suspension is tight and the generous rear drive system makes the G70 eager to get its ass end around on tight turns. If you go for the 3.3T trim, which costs $51,245 out of the box, there's even a drift mode, not that I got the chance to sample it. And not even the optional all-wheel drive model hampers fun like some of the other too stringent alternatives. But the G70's chassis still doesn't respond as sharply as the BMW 3 Series, nor is the handling as predictable as an Alfa Romeo Giulia. Although the G70's ride feels stiff, there's too much body roll and some vagueness when you push it hard. Even the steering, although better here than on the 3.3T, is a bit fuzzy on center. And for some reason, Genesis only offers the rear limited slip differential on the top-end 3.3T model. It would do the base model some good. At least the 2.5T keeps things simple with a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear, with a fixed ratio steering rack. The 3.3T has adjustable springs and variable ratio steering. Both changes contribute to a car that's more complicated and heavier than its 2.5T stablemate. The base G70 weighs 3,688 pounds with rear drive, while the 3.3T is close to 4,000 pounds. One of G70 owners' biggest complaints was how the car braked, so Genesis amended that with standard Brembos on every model. The new rotors bring the G70 down to speed with ease and they're easy to modulate. Even non-enthusiast drivers will enjoy living with them. But the G70 suspension can feel too harsh when you're not tracking it, a place we don't expect many Genesis owners will venture. The suspension crashes over imperfect roads. Tire and wind noise enter the cabin at a volume you'd expect from an economy car. My passenger and I could barely talk without raised voices. To its credit, the cabin looks lovely. I'm a sucker for quilted leather, and the G70 keeps that going for 2025 with an available combo of black Napa and red stitching. Aluminum trim pieces dot the steering wheel and dash, lending the interior a feeling of industrial heft, while that same black leather extends to the center console and door panels. There isn't a piece of hard plastic or flimsy faux wood in sight. One of the biggest upgrades inside the new G70 is a 10.3-inch touchscreen that's standard on all models. It's joined by a half-digital instrument cluster and a new productivity screen lower on the dash for air conditioning controls. I still prefer hard buttons for basic functions like this, but the G70's HVAC screen is easy enough to use. more standard safety equipment makes its way to the G70 for 2024, including things like blind spot monitoring, a forward collision, and highway driving assist, HDA, Hyundai's excellent driver assistance feature. While HDA isn't a true hands-free system, it comes close, with the perfect lane centering and smooth acceleration and braking inputs. The automatic steering even navigates around highway curves that less capable systems simply can't. Buyers looking for a punchier, more refined base model finally have something to look forward to in the 2024 G70 2.5T. But it's still a step down from the punchier V6.